So even though Fatal Fury has been a dead franchise since 1999, it's still had an impressive roster of characters over the years. But who's the worst of the worst and who's the best of the best? Well, today I'm gonna answer that question, but not really, because this is completely opinion based and a heavily biased ranking. But you know what? Ranking videos seem to be doing well on YouTube recently. Not that that's why I made this video. I just wanted to. It's fun. It's a fun idea, okay? And just to establish some ground rules, I'm not going to be counting any NPCs like Ripper and Hopper or Lilly Kane. I won't be counting Iori or Ryo because even though they are playable in Fatal Fury games, they don't come from Fatal Fury, but I will be counting Mr. Karate 2 because I think his first appearance was Wild Ambition, so, you know, just clearing that up. I don't think I missed anyone. I mean, I even put fucking Lau in. Do you even know who Lau is? You probably don't, but he's on the list, so hopefully I didn't miss anyone. And without any further ado, I guess let's just jump into it. Number 48, Toji Sakata. You don't know anything about Toji Sakata. You never think back to Wild Ambition and think, oh yeah, Toji. I know you don't. Do not lie to me. I had to look up his name just to place him on the list. Number 47, Lau. Lau's biggest claim to fame was getting punched in the dick by Rick Stroud in the opening of Real Bout 2. Oh yeah, and I guess he was playable in some obscure Fatal Fury game. Go him. Number 46, Xiangfei. God! Bitch! Bitch! Fuck Xiangfei! Fucking kill! I hate this character, good god. Why? Well, on top of being a boring design and slightly annoying to fight, for some reason she was the one between her and Rick Stroud that got chosen to be added to King of Fighters 99. So not only did she cuck Rick out of a KOF slot, but she stuck around for like 3 fucking games stinking up the Women Fighters team. This bitch has been in more KOF titles than Duck King or Raiden. Get out of my face, ho! Oh shit, Xiangfei, I didn't mean it. Don't unsubscribe. I didn't mean it, don't unsubscribe, please! Number 45, Tsugumi Sendo. I don't know, this character exists, I guess. Number 44, Michael Max. And here we have the most forgotten Fatal Fury 1 opponent. FF1 fighters have all had varying degrees of success over the years, but only one of them could never even make it out of the game. Sorry Michael, you are literally Mike Tyson. Fighting games have enough Mike Tysons already. Hey, at least you got a cameo on KOF 15's beach stage. Good god, they didn't even get the colour of your hoodie right. To give him some props, I enjoy his stage and theme a lot. It's very Fatal Fury. Kinda like how Art of Fight isn't Todo's theme, it's the opening theme of the game. Kinda wish Max was the default first opponent in the game, because when I first played Fatal Fury 1, it was weird as fuck hearing a bunch of Japanese men going himna 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 ha da 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 during the first battle. Number 43, Mojiki Sokaku. These fucking Japanese names, I swear. Out of the Fatal Fury 3 lot, Sokaku is definitely the one I forget the most. I mean, he looks like a Samurai Showdown offshoot that just wandered on set and they decided to roll with it. Even Terry is like, who the fuck is this after their fight? He is a little interesting though. I mean, he hates the fuck out of Andy and Mai, so props for that. But being the nemesis to the most ignored secondary protagonist in fighting game history is fighting a losing battle to begin with. Besides, Andy doesn't even need a rival. He's his own worst enemy. Number 42, Kim Dong-hwan. Ha ha ha, he name is the same as Western slang for penis. And I think SNK realized this, because they actually snuck in a secret ending where Dong wins the tournament and just starts raw dogging Hotaru. With her full consent, of course. Horny fucks. Number 41, Freeman. This guy tried to kill Kim. Like he actually tried to fucking murder Kim Kaf-wan. Fuck you. Number 40, Honfu. You know, in theory I feel like I should like Honfu. He's a character with the same gel as Kim, but instead uses nunchucks. And hey, I like to fuck around with nunchucks every now and then too. However, I find this guy totally lame. For being a foil to Yamazaki, one of the franchise's baddest characters, he's a complete joke. He's a clumsy idiot unlike the razor-sharp Kim. And unlike other clumsy SNK characters like Shingo, it doesn't endear me to him. Doesn't help that he can often be a total ass pain in arcade runs. Specifically Fatal Fury 3. I gotta hand it to him though, his theme is pretty great and his stage is fucking sublime. Number 39, White. You know, SNK character designers often base new characters off of cool stuff they like, which itself is totally cool. I think every character designer pretty much does that to a certain degree, but there have been a few times where that inspiration goes absolutely too far and White is one of those cases. He's literally the fella from Clockwork Orange. What else do we have to work with? Let's see, dangerous crime lord, drug trade, flaunted any opposition, wants to take control, Southtown. Hey, quick aside, why are all English SNK characters evil or at least unlawful? Pirate. Crime lord, right-hand man to crime lord, cold-hearted assassin, serial killer clown. Number 38, Alfred Airhawk. There's nothing really wrong with Alfred, it's just there's nothing particularly interesting about him in my opinion either. And when you're trying to fill the role of Fatal Fury's new protagonist, you have some big fucking boots to fill. Trying to replace Terry Bogard? Yeah, right. No wonder he didn't take off. Number 37, Hotaru Futaba. Yeah, Hotaru is low on the list. She has a comfy stage and an easy on the ears theme and a cute little fella following her around, but I just don't really jive with her incestual tendencies. Unstiffen your cock, you fucking nonce. Number 36, Chang Xinzan. I actually kinda like Chang. Yeah, he's a fat, money-grubbing, bumbling fool, but he was kind of a bro in Fatal Fury 3 and helped our ragtag protags a lot behind the scenes. Like with giving Terry a ride in a helicopter or warning them all about the scrolls in the first place. Considering he was a student of Tongue alongside Jeff and Geese, I would wager there's definitely a bit more to him than what meets the eye. You guys think he's gonna show up in KOF 16? Oh my god, imagine a Tongue students team. Fuck. I'm chumming slight. Number 35, Kane R. Heinlein. Or is it Heinlein? Kane could be cool. I mean, he has a cool enough design. Lots of mystique around him. Look, a common theme of this list is going to be me not being able to place characters very high just because their stories never got fleshed out enough. And Kane's place in the series was only just starting before he never showed up again. Number 34, Grant. Grant is pretty much in the same boat as Kane, but the fact that he uses dark karate and takes design hints from Mr. Karate just tickles my law boner just that little bit more. Plus I like the fact that he acts as Kane's personal Batman. Number 33, Kevin Ryan. You know, I don't think anyone actually talks about Kevin. As much as Garo gets talked up, I feel like people only ever acknowledge a fraction of its cast. But to be honest, I can't really blame them when you've got characters as milquetoast as Kevin on the roster. Am I being too harsh? He's a dumb musclehead cop who mistakes Terry Bogard for a mass murderer. How do you as a Southtown cop not know Terry Bogard? It's like someone from Aberdeen not knowing who Kurt Cobain is. He's also apparently related to Blue Mary in some way. It's so vague and tacked on that I think it's just a quick way to try and make him more interesting, but it's never given any more depth than he has the same second name as her except with an I instead of a Y. His whole shtick of looking after the son of a fallen comrade is cute, but it's not enough for me to give Kevin any attention after the end of this sentence. Number 32, Axel Hawk. Axel is basically a Michael Max that fits into the world a bit more. He's got a surprising bit of depth considering he's a one and done Fatal Fury 2 opponent. He's a ruthless, retired heavyweight boxer working for Krauser, but he has a sensitive side when it comes to his mother, and quit the crime world out of fear for her well-being. He also mucks around with RC cars. Man, the little promotional artworks for Fatal Fury Special really show fun, different sides to the characters. And he's friends with Franco Bash. Unfortunately, he's still the most forgettable character in Fatal Fury 2's star-studded cast. Number 31, Hua Jai. Officially the second least remembered Fatal Fury 1 opponent, and despite appearing in arguably the most popular KOF title to date, you won't see anyone talking about Hua Jai. He's cameo ending fodder these days, and you likely won't be seeing him if Joe isn't also present. I'm already out of things to say about this dude. He gets drunk and goes mental. He used to be a bitter rival to Joe, but is now friends with him. Like, that's character development. His pants are purple. Sometimes he goes purple too. This guy stole Adele's 13 slot. Number 30, Kim Jae-hoon. I can appreciate this guy a lot more than penis. I mean dong. Much more of a suitable protege to Kim, albeit almost to his detriment. He's a good wholesome lad that fights hard, believes in justice, and drinks his Soylent. He even has a girlfriend to bang after wrecking your shit. Dong doesn't have a girlfriend to bang. Oh, that's his mom? Fuck. Oh well, leave it in. Number 29, Gato. One of the more fleshed out and interesting Mark of the Wolves newcomers, but still crippled by its lack of sequel. Definitely an interesting premise to this character. He lived a normal life but had it flipped completely upside down when his dad randomly twatted his mum one day. He abandoned everything in the name of revenge, much to the ire of his thirsty-ass sister. Despite being a complete loner, he's unironically made it into several KOF titles, most recently in 15, and while these appearances do give him a bit more dialogue to work with, I don't think we'll ever be able to fully appreciate him until his story is resolved. He has his fans though, probably carried by his cool design and playstyle where he kicks you into the air going, hi 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 hi. Number 28, Jin Chonrei. Ah yes, the Jin twins. I'm gonna be honest, they're probably the weakest of the Fatal Fury villains. The whole story confuses me, honestly, so they're like kids who are carrying the souls of ancient Chinese warriors who wrote the Jin scrolls, and now in the present Geese has collected all the Jin scrolls? I thought the scrolls Geese had were the Hakyoko Seiken scrolls. Are they the same thing? And so the two twins come to Southtown and hire Yamazaki to help them do what? Get the scrolls back, I guess? Oh Christ, I'm not doing this shit today. This is exactly why I'm never going to detail KOF lore. It's too much ancient scrolls, deities, Kyo clone sci-fi shit for my tastes. Keep this crap out of Fatal Fury. That being said, the Jin bros aren't that bad, just not very significant. But which one is better? Number 27, Jin Chonshu. Well, I prefer Chonshu, by like a tiny bit, a smidgen. Purely because when I first played Real Bar, I didn't know you could turn difficulty levels down on SNK games, and I was stuck on Chonrei in the subway station level for fucking ages. I still get reminded of losing to him over and over and over again every time I hear one of them go "Ding." Moving on. Number 26, Franco Bash. Notable for being one of the only Fatal Fury characters with a fully English voice actor, Franco is an alcoholic bruiser version of Freddie Mercury. He crushes beer bottles in his hands while screaming and shouts, "Oh my god!" after losing a round. If you are not completely endeared to this character yet, please contact your psychiatrist immediately. He lived generally pretty peacefully in Southtown, working as an airplane mechanic at the airport, although the stupid ass martial artists that keep fighting underneath his airplanes probably made his job annoying as fuck, until Yamazaki kidnaps his son, coercing him into antagonizing the main crew of Fatal Fury 3. However, once Terry dropkicks Yami back to Hong Kong, he takes on a more light-hearted role in the series. Unfortunately, Franco is pretty forgotten by most fans, I guess because it's easier to market bishy edgelords than the gruff middle-aged beer-drinking engineer. Still, I'll always have a soft spot for him, and it would be nice to see him return someday. Number 25, B Jenet.
Hey, you're letting you know? Nah, you are paying fam still.
Jenny here is the British leader of a pirate gang. I guess she hated up growing in England so much that she took some of her posh twat parents' money and left for the Seven Seas, which is something that young adults practice in the UK more than you think. Makes me wonder where in the UK she was actually born. To be honest, considering the fact that she's a literal pirate, I think I might headcanon that she's Scottish or something. She's a solid gold Fatal Fury design, has a good crew of background characters, and has maintained a decent sized fanbase since she first started showing up in KOF games, playable or otherwise. And now she's set to take the stage once again in 15, cementing her as arguably the second most popular Mark of the Wolves character. Not my favourite though, because I'm John 6 and you are wrong and I'm correct. Number 24, Richard Meyer. If Richard was solely a Fatal Fury 1 opponent that never showed up again, he'd be nothing. But he's the owner of Peo Peo Cafe and thus maintains a constant presence in the series and beyond as a chill-ass bartender. He's one of those characters where the little touches just totally make it for me, like him patting Bob on the back before fights in 3 and saying, "Let's go, Bob," or seeing an older version of him still serving the gang in memories of stray wolves. He also deserves some props for being the first opponent in the entire series. Good on you, Richard. Number 23. Marco Rodriguez.
Haha, but...
As Ryo took up the moniker of Mr. Karate, that means someone had to fill the shoes of the Invincible Dragon, for which Marco steps up to the plate. One of the standouts from Garo, Marco is a very welcome addition to the kooky Kyokugen Ryu family, but also stands on his own and isn't just simply a replacement for Ryo. Unfortunately, he's not shown up enough for anything super interesting to happen to him, but his fun playstyle and likable personality have warranted a lot of demand for him to show up again. I at least want to see him come face to face with the Gym Buster in KOF sometime. Unfortunately, right now, the most we're seeing of Bart is him being the Marco of all of AOF team's jokes. Number 22, Lawrence Blood. You know, at first I thought Lawrence was a total lamewad, a pretty nothing Fatal Fury 2 sub-boss, and then being totally fucking gay in the second OVA. But I think the Real Bout series really did Lawrence some justice. He's well animated, has an awesome theme, his stage is cool, and his voice clips are actually pretty cool and memorable, unlike, I don't know, 94 Kyo. Unfortunately, most people just call him Fatal Fury Vega and move on with their day. Excuse me, but Vega is a total loser and Lawrence is badass. And he actually looks like a real matador. He's unfortunately a pretty looked over character, but if they ever brought him back and gave him some touch-ups and spotlight, I'm sure he'd garner a lot more fans. He's the Billy Kane to Krauser's geese, for Christ's sake. Put some more respect on his name. Number 21, Tong Fu Ru. I could honestly just stick the entirety of Tong's 6-minute arranged theme here if I wanted, because that is honestly the best thing about him, and it pretty much gets across what kind of character he is perfectly anyway. Other than Geese, I'd say Tong is actually the most central character in this entire series and is even enjoying some spotlight in the recent KOF titles with his new pupils, Shune and Shotokan, Maidsen-kun. Tong has an impressive resume of fighters still under his belt. Geese, Jeff, Cheng, Terry, Andy, Chonrei, and the aforementioned KOF characters. Although even though they were presumably all taught Hakyoko Seiken, none of them seem to actually use it. Although I guess this art from 14 suggests they are fully capable of it if they want to. Hey, seeing Terry and Andy in Hakyoko Seiken uniforms always makes me smile for some reason. Anyway, Tong. Although he is very much based on Master Roshi, I don't think we should discredit him for that. He's a fine and very important character in his own right. The problem is, he gets heavily outclassed by the other old man teacher in the series. Although before I get to that, I'm just gonna let his theme play out a bit because it's just so fucking good. Number 20, Jubei Yamada. So apparently Jubei is Ogura's most wanted KOF character. Good taste. Jubei is awesome. Instead of giving Tongue the perverted side of Roshi's personality, it's split up and given to Jubei. And if he was just a perverted old Shiranui style teacher, he'd probably be up there with Lao on this list. But what makes Jubei so cool is how he instantly switches to serious badass mode in the second OVA, even challenging Andy to a fight before allowing him to go to Germany to fight Krauser. It sounds corny, but it actually makes him feel like a proper person instead of a cartoon character. I don't know why this random Fatal Fury 2 side character was characterized so well in the OVAs, he just was. Number 19, Bob Wilson. So, apart from Mary and a certain Yakuza member, here's my favourite from the Fatal Fury 3 bunch. I really like Bob. He's just such an upbeat guy. He's like Brazilian Terry Bogard. Just always smiling and dancing around and giving you big ol' thumbs up. He's like, weirdly cute. He looks so genuinely upset when he gets knocked into the water in real bout Fatal Fury that I actually feel bad for beating him. Also, his round win animation is just amazing. I've always really wanted Bob to return to the ring, because like Richard, he's always showing up in KOF endings and, you know, serving people in Pao Pao Cafe, but he's not gotten a slice of the action in years now. I still remember the little twinge of sadness I felt seeing his cameo on the KOF 15 Pao Pao Cafe stage for the first time. Maybe next time, Bobby. Number 18, Hoku Tomaro. Fatal Fury's resident little legend. I love playing this dude. An ungodly mix of Hakyoko Seiken Shiranui style arts and swordplay and shurikens. Yes please. He can even double jump as well. A complete pain in the ass to fight against, but amazingly fun to control yourself. His theme is catchy, his stage is awesome and features Kyo and Iori mixed up in a fucking road collision. His animations are just so cartoonishly exaggerated and endearing, I don't know how anyone could look at these and not like the little fella. Plus, being the protege of Andy Bogard already makes you cool in my books. My biggest problem with him is that SNK are cowards for not making him Mai and Andy's canonical cum sprout. These two are never getting hitched, I swear. He literally has the same fucked hairline as both of them. Anyway, speaking of Mai, number 17, Mai Shiranui. You know, I originally had Mai a bit higher on this list when I first started blocking it out. But then, I started to consider her a bit more, and beyond being an iconic legacy character, I was struggling to find nice things to say about her. Like, what's Mai's role in the series anyway? To felch buckets of cum from 13-year-olds? To be an annoying slutty prick? To be desperately horny for Andy and stop at nothing to jump on his cock? Lady, this guy pushed you into a moving stream because Joe told him Terry got punched in the balls. He's not interested. He's gay, or asexual, or crippled by anxiety, or autistic or something. Take your pick, because the bottom line is he's not getting it up under any circumstance. Evolve. There's a ton of directions Mike could go to make her more interesting, but pretty obviously she's not going to go there anytime soon. And I can't rank a character based on what they could potentially be. Well, for the most part. I realise I haven't said anything good about Mai yet, but I don't hate her, she's just whatever. She's a lot of fun to play as and is one of my go-tos in 13, but her characterization is bland at best and irritatingly obnoxious at worst. She's ranked 17th and I think that's generous enough for Tits the character. I do love her real bout theme though, that shit is great. Number 16, Alice. Alice counts as a Fatal Fury character, right? I mean, I know she originated from Pachinko and her only playable appearance was in KOF, but she's literally Joe, Terry and Andy.
Mix in a blender!
Plus, Fatal Fury is a massive sausage party, so we need to take what female representation we can get. She's basically a love letter to Fatal Fury in both a meta way and canonically since she's a huge Terry fangirl. She even has some classic Fatal Fury style English.
Let's have a blast!
Plus, she just has a lot of my favourite character design tropes for females. My reasons for liking Alice might be pretty superficial, but sometimes all you need is a fun playstyle, a bubbly, likeable personality, and a simple, solid design, and I am fucking on board, dude. Fun fact, Alice is based on an old student of Kim's from the Real Bout games called Alice... Chrysler? Yeah. Number 15, Duck King.
Well, alright, are you ready to rock? Oh, SNK Neo Geo presents Fatal Fury Special and Club Knees, Shin Senkai, Yakuza Sukidan, Duck, Dub, Dub, Countdown, 3, 2, 1, mark! Bum, 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 dum, dum.
Duck King is fucking great. Just one of them characters that makes you smile when he's on screen. He's got such a presence that he honestly feels like he's been in more KOF games than just one. My man's is extremely underrated and he needs to show up more. Yeah, his design is an 80s explosion, but Terry is still rocking the leather vest and bootcut jeans in 2022 and no Ambatsunai. Plus he has little dancing ducklings that follow him around everywhere. Keep an eye out and you might even find them on certain KOF stages. Duck is just a great joy and fun and it's incredibly hard not to like the guy. Please, put him in more games. Number 14, T-Zoc. Pro wrestler wearing a griffin mask. Do I need to elaborate? No? Good. Number 13, okay, fine. Now you may have noticed a lot of Mark the Wolf's characters have been ranked a little lower on this list than you may have expected. My main reasoning being, without a sequel, most of the roster has had little room to stretch out in and be developed. This is why most of my favourite Garo characters are ones that don't necessarily need a compelling storyline to be engaging. Marco, Hokutomaro, and now T-Zoc. Although I must concede that T-Zoc is perhaps the most spotlighted Garo character outside of a certain somebody. He's had the most KOF appearances and shockingly, these appearances have been used to do some pretty inspired stuff with the character. I hesitate to call King of Dinosaurs development per se, but it's at least a fun idea and offers a look into T-Zoc's mentality about wrestling and even himself as a person. Helps that he's always getting good teammates for him to bounce off of. While I do like the Griffin design more than King of Dinosaurs, I appreciate the fact that they tried something outside of the box with this guy. Unfortunately though, I must say he's my second favourite professional wrestler in the series. Number 13, Raiden. Rest in peace, Big Van Vader. You know, if there's one Fatal Fury character I feel truly alone in my plight of absolutely loving, it's Raiden. I don't know why, but I completely love this guy while everyone else seems to overlook him. And even then, I can't quite put my finger on it. Maybe it's the fact that he's one of the best face-heel characters in the genre. Maybe it's the fact that his costume is awesome. Maybe it's the fact that he's Australian. I want to write more about Raiden, but I literally do not know why I gravitate to him so much. God, why wasn't he in the Real Bout games? At least he gets a decent share of attention from games like Capcom vs SNK, as well as being one of the few characters graced with the 13 makeover. Appearing on Kim's team might have been more of a one-time gimmick, but I think Raiden has much more staying power than Huajai does. He'd be right at home on a team with the likes of Antonov or King of Dinosaurs. Hell, let's see him link back up with Billy Kane sometime. His face and heel personas give him a lot of flexibility with what characters he can be paired up with. If we ever get another Fatal Fury title, getting this big motherfucker on the roster best be a high priority for the dev team. Oh yeah, speaking of Raiden, this picture still lives completely rent-free in my head. I'm pretty sure someone once told me the boring, realistic answer of what it is, but I forgot, so I'm just gonna go full conspiracy mode. Maybe it's an in-game screenshot of a new Fatal Fury game with Arxis-inspired graphics and also everything else I want from the series perfectly crafted into my dream video game? It's probably just Tomohiro Nakata mucking around and drawing Raiden for fun, but hey, a man can dream. Number 12, Ryuji Yamazaki. The Jin twins might have been the quote-unquote main villains of Fatal Fury 3, but the star of the show was Yamazaki. Fatal Fury had a Mike Tyson, had a German emperor, had a pissed-off punk rocker, had the world's strongest weeaboo. It was prime time to introduce a member of the Yakuza. While Yamazaki doesn't enjoy being an incredibly deep and layered character, he gets tons of attention from fans just for being super enigmatic. He dons a calm and collected mob muscle persona, similar to the likes of Geese's henchmen Ripper and Hopper. However, this is all just a facade, to hide his maniacal insanity induced by seeing his Yakuza father figure get murdered in front of him in a gang war. His visual design complements these two sides of him. He constantly has a hand in his pocket, moving pretty slowly and methodically. His normals aren't anything crazy, but then his specials and supers? He takes a knife and starts slashing you to bits, or he grabs you by the face and starts slamming it into the pavement while laughing hysterically like a fucking maniac. He's one of the only characters in the series that isn't trained in any kind of martial art or fighting technique. He just kicks the ever-loving shit out of you because he's a big, tough motherfucker. Like damn, Yamazaki fucking kills you in some of his animations. And the whole deal of connecting him to the Hakishu and KOF, pretty genius. It's a great example of using KOF to flesh out his guest characters, instead of just copy-pasting them like what often happens. The best part is that he's such a fucking mad lad that the riot of the blood has no effect on him like it would a Yori or Leona. Number 11, Mr. Karate 2. I've done a tremendous amount of deliberation on whether or not I should include Mr. Karate 2 on this list. While he is by technicality a Fatal Fury character, he is also technically from Art of Fighting, and Ryo is my favourite SNK character of all time, but it would feel like a cop-out to place an Art of Fighting born character at second on what's supposed to be a Fatal Fury character ranking. I also didn't know if I should judge him based on how he is as Mr. Karate 2, or if I should judge him based on everything Ryo is in like KOF and Art of Fighting, and basically just, I couldn't decide. Look, realistically he places second here, but I don't want to tread on the feet of other Fatal Fury characters that deserve to rank higher, and as cool as Mr. Karate 2 is, as fitting and badass as our evolution of Ryo Sakazaki as he is, I'm gonna put him at 11. But he's not really 11, you get me, right? Yeah, goddamn. Number 10, Rick Stroud. Realbat 2's subtitle might have had an S in it, but we all know the spotlight was on this badass new Native American boxer. Hell, he even booted Terry out of the game's intro. I don't have any deep reasons for loving Rick as much as I do. He just fills out all the basic checklist requirements for me to like a character. Awesome simple design, fun moveset, and absolutely amazing theme. The only thing he's lacking is an interesting stage, but I don't mind his shared one with Terry. It's nothing amazing, but the sign in the background that says Chicken of the Sea always got a laugh out of me and my friends because, well, what the fuck? Rick's animations are soaked in personality, be it his idle animation or his Call to the Wind pose. He captures all attention whenever he's on screen. My god, when is this guy gonna make it out of Realbat 2? Maybe KOF 15 DLC? Huh? What? Vanessa? Fuck you. How about that? You know, I've actually heard some crackpot theories that Rick is Vanessa's mystery husband, so if Ramon ever goes too far in his quest to fuck Vanessa, maybe Rick will have to step in and punch him out. That'd be nice to see. Number 9, Rock Howard. This is how you do a second generation character right. As the son of Geese and adopted son of Terry, he's got aspects of both of them baked into his design, but Rock has been able to spread his wings, lol, and grow into his own character while not deviating from his core concept, a mix between Bogard and Howard. That idea alone just kicks ass and is executed so well through design and moveset. His personality is wholly unique though, and shaped by his inner turmoil about his lineage. In a rare, possibly accidental move from SNK, Rock's characterization is ever so slightly developed in KOF. See, in his first main stage appearance Garo, he's a brooding edgelord. Makes enough sense considering he's still struggling to comprehend the actions of his father, and isn't completely filled in on the fate of his extended family including his mother. It makes for an edgy disposition. And famously, Mark the Wolf is still yet to ever have a follow-up, so we've never seen how Rock would truly canonically change as the story progresses. But based on his newer KOF appearances, I've been happy to see that he doesn't fall into the usual SNK archetype of edgelord introvert alongside the likes of K49, Iori, Gato, K-Dash, etc. He's portrayed more as an awkward teen not entirely used to social situations, which is good, because that's literally what he is. I was afraid they were just going to go the usual route of making him an edgy arsehole because apparently that's an incredibly endearing personality. It's a subtle difference, yes, but I picked up on it at least. Makes him closer to Adelheid, which is another great second generation character. He even speaks civilly with Shune in the secret team ending instead of their respective edgelordness just cancelling each other out. While I'll always be a little miffed that Rock essentially stole what I believe should have been Andy's story from him, he makes up for it by having a slick design and fun playstyle and good theme songs and yada yada yada. Despite all this, I have received a counter argument about Rock from a friend. It says, and I quote, "Rock is a gay pussy." So who's to say who's really correct here? Number 8, Billy Kane. You know, as a Britbong myself, I'm extra critical of British characters, especially ones that try to play to British stereotypes. Often they swing and miss for me. Either they don't feel British enough, or are trying to be British so hard that it comes off as pandering or over the top and unrealistic. But you know, there's always been one British character that I absolutely rock with and completely nails everything their creator was going for. And that is Billy Kane. He works for me in the exact same way Terry does. Terry is an all-80s American action hero, and Billy is the epitome of the late 70s punk rock movement in England. Billy reflects Terry's American stereotypes so seamlessly. He's a bit uglier, his colours are the same as Terry's but they're a bit more grim. Instead of long flowing locks of blonde hair, he's got a buzz cut most of the time, and instead of being upbeat all the time, he's pissed off instead. Geese may be Terry's arch nemesis, but Billy is his greatest rival. Their designs just complement each other so well. I mean, they're literally just Jinkers? What? I've never had to say that word. Jinkers of the American and UK flag respectively. So apart from that, what else makes Billy great? Well, his ethical dilemma is interesting as well. He's a bad guy, but not explicitly evil, just fiercely loyal to Geese, and dejects the rest of the world. And why shouldn't he? He grew up homeless with his sister on the streets of London, having to steal and kill just to survive. The only reason he's still kicking it is because of a rare act of kindness from Geese, who adopted the two siblings while he was in London for business. He's capable of good, seen mostly from his sweet relationship with his sister Lilly. However, those are the only two people that matter to him, and no matter how many times Terry or Joe may try to appeal to his better senses, he's too stubborn to meet them halfway. Is his extreme loyalty commendable or pitiable? Is he good deep down, or just selfish and willing to do anything to provide for his sister? Are his actions and crime-world activity just pushing him away from her in the end? Will he ever soften up and come to his senses, especially after Geese's death? Will he ever let Joe deflower Lilly? Just some food for thought that gives the guy some extra depth. Number 7. Wolfgang Krauser. Here he is, the single character that feels like they can truly give Geese a run for his money. Yeah, Rugal might be canonically stronger than both, but the guy has never convinced me. Krauser is the crowning jewel of the Fatal Fury 2 OVA. He's an absolute blast to watch him scream, and is built up in such a way that makes him seem genuinely invincible, to the point where sometimes I feel like I won't even be physically able to beat his in-game AI. I'm serious, when I first played Real Bout 2 and saw that Krauser was the final boss, my pants were nearly shat in as a result of watching the OVA beforehand. But he's not a generic, extremely strong enemy either. He's compelling in that he has such an honourable sense of charisma. He fights you with a live orchestra playing L.A.zy in the back. He has glorious English voice clips. He likes spunk. He has a purple moustache. The nickname Emperor of Darkness might sound like a generic villain title, but Krauser earns it when he Kaiser waves you into another fucking plane of existence. But if you're the one person that manages to best him, he honours your victory with his life. And speaking of death, I'm going to be extremely pissed if I kick the bucket before hearing Paul Dobson voice his character again. I need to at least hear him say the iconic line.
I'll chisel your gravestone. Sleep well.
Number 6. Blue Mary. There have been multiple attempts to give Terry Bogard a love interest over the years. You had Lilly from the OVAs, who was okay, Sulia from the motion picture, who I didn't like at all, Angelina from Destiny, who can fuck off forever, and this bitch from the one Fatal Fury ad. Yet Blue Mary is the only one who I feel has worked. Not only because her personality complements Terry's perfectly, but also the fact that she completely stands on her own as a character regardless. She's a private investigator that remains dedicated to her job despite her traumatizing past. She puts on a smile for everyone around her, holding back the pain she still feels about her father and lover Butch dying on a mission with her. And who do you think was responsible for that happening? With Fatal Fury's story always focused on Andy and Terry, it's easy to forget how Geese's corruption of Southtown has probably affected hundreds of other people too. And Mary comes in to remind us of that. Her cheery voice lines and funny move names are a coping mechanism for her to try and forget what's really going on around her. What? You think I'm being superfluous with fighting game character depth again? No, this is literally canon. They made an entire music video detailing her conflict for Real Bout Special. Like I've demonstrated before, you can infer tons of stuff about characters like Andy, Geese, Robert, etc. if you read between the lines, but I think Mary is the only one that SNK explicitly gave loads of depth. If you haven't seen this yet, check it out, it's on YouTube with an English translation. You'll probably appreciate Blue Mary a whole lot more after seeing it. Also, Blue Mary's Blues is one of the best songs in SNK history, whether it's the arranged or OST version. So fucking good, and honestly brings up a lot of nostalgia from when I first got into the series. Good on you, Mary. Wear your blue top and green jacket more, please. Number 5. Kim KOF 1. Here he is, Fatal Fury's very own Taekwondo Batman. You know, Kim looks pretty understated considering he's one of SNK's most popular characters. On paper, he seems to be just another fight sexual martial artist, but the real driving force behind his character is his lust for greatness and perfection. And of course, there's his extreme sense of justice. And this trait of his is taken seriously just as much as it is played for laughs. You know, like a real character. A lot of the time he's overzealous in his pursuit of justice, which can make him judgmental of even the most pure people like Terry. It also seems to cloud his self-awareness every now and again, strictly making him see the world as black and white. At the same time, he's a total badass when it comes down to the wire with a real villain. He'll stop at absolutely nothing to put a bad guy down, which has led to some really great character moments for him over the years. Remember how I gave Honfu shit for not being a good enough foil for Yamazaki? That's because his Korean cousin over here is doing his whole shtick 10 times better in the same franchise. Then again, if Kim was in his position instead, Ryuji would have been locked away a long time ago, possibly even rehabilitated by Kim's brutal methods. He's respectable but not infallible, and we see that with his treatment of Chang and Choi, which is so harsh that it sometimes brings his own moral compass into the question. Although, am I really expected to feel bad for Choi? He's a serial killer, remember? And on top of that, Kim's recent KOF 14 team-up was such a bad time for him that he started to reevaluate his own views and methods of extraditing justice. Where the hell is this kind of development for other Fatal Fury characters in KOF? Even if you're a complete lollet, Kim is just also really likeable for having all the basics down well. All his voice clips are so damn memorable and he's literally never had a bad theme. Seriously, Kim's themes are amazing. All of them. Go listen to all of them. His design is simple but bold, he's very fun to play as, and he's memeable as all hell, which has just skyrocketed his popularity. I mean shit, even his pants are famous. There's a reason why Kim being excluded from KOF 15 has sparked a fucking civil war in the community. Kim is awesome, everyone likes him, and he needs to be added as DLC prompt now. Who should he be in a team with? Who the hell cares? Stick him with Lin and Bao for all I give a fuck. KOF just isn't the same without this guy. Number 4, Joe Higashi. You know, I've always wanted to make a video about Joe, but there's just barely not enough stuff about him for me to justify it, and now I'm gonna spunk all my material for it here anyway. Joe Higashi is Thailand's top kickboxer. After a life of harsh training inside Thai jungles, he shed his serious mentality after reaching the peak of his strength, and adopted a goofy, larger-than-life personality in the ring, winning him thousands of fans. His persona is so infectious that it even turns his bitter rival into his biggest supporter. He's so confident in his abilities that he'll straight up shit-talk Oroshi's cousin to his face. And then, he beats him in a fight, obviously. I like characters with depth, as we've learned. I like finding and peeling back all their hidden layers and speculating about their deeper personalities and whatnot. But you know what you need to balance that kind of thing out? The more light-hearted and simpler characters. And that's what Joe is. It's not to say he isn't a good character, hell, far from it. He wouldn't be ranking this high on the list if he wasn't. But he's not the kind of character I can bullshit some epic secret lore out of. He was included in the original Fatal Fury as a more fun and jovial character to counteract Terry and Andy's brooding and serious revenge plot. To make it abundantly clear though, this does not make Joe one-dimensional or boring. He has his funny moments, his sad moments, his serious moments and his badass ones, but he understands his role as tertiary character and never oversteps his bounds. He's the Bogard brothers' eternal bro. Unfortunately, KOF pretty much neutered his character for the most part and reduced him to solely a comic relief jokester, but I went over that last video. Still, I'll always remember how cool his initial incarnation was.
Okay, I don't expect you to care about the money, Terry, but you don't gotta live like some traveling monk. Hey, money can get you what you need.
Can't buy love, Joe.
Yeah, that's true, but you might be surprised at how easy it is to rent sometimes. Listen up, stupid. Sully is sweet on you, or haven't you noticed that yet? You want to be Terry the Lonely Wolf Bogard for the rest of your life, or what, man?
That's Lone Wolf. Besides, she's just a kid.
I don't know about that.
I'm trying to look.
Hey, now what?
Give me all the details, man. You two were in the same room, right? So, how was she?
How was she what?
Come on, man.
Ow.
You know what I want to hear. Did you make a lot of noise or what? Andy!
Huh? Joe?
This is no time to be messing around with girls, Andy.
You finally come back. Don't leave me again.
Be silent, woman. You might have scared Terry, but I'm not scared of you, Krauser. And I'll give you a much better fight. Come on!
Number 3, Geese Howard. I don't need to spell it out for you. You already know. Geese is one of the SK's most well-known characters. His fame and meme status even superseding characters like Terry or Mai at times. And for good reason. He feels invincible without being overpowered. He's mind-shatteringly cool without having to be over the top. He's instantly likable without being in your face about it. Why is this? Well, it's hard to actually say. It just seems like every single person who knows who Geese Howard is also likes Geese Howard. He just has this incredible but understated charisma about him. I think Geese works because he's not here to impress you. He's not some overblown megalomaniac like so many other fighting game villains, hell, villains in general. He's not cartoonishly evil, or taken extremely seriously either. He's snug right in the middle. He has goofy things about him that will endear you to him, like the fact that he's a massive weeaboo or that his name is literally Geese, but you also instantly respect him all the same when you see his moveset in action. Let me put it this way, if M. Bison told Heihachi Mishima that he was going to kill him, it'd be like, haha, okay lol. But if Geese told Heihachi that he was going to kill him, it's like, oh fuck. That's the best way I can really put Geese's appeal into words. Even when he's not the main star, his influences felt all the same like in KOF and Tekken. He got a spot in Terry's Smash trailer, and even some people who didn't know who Terry was still recognized Geese. And as for that characterization and lore, well, it's top shelf, let me just say that. I don't really want to say too much here because honestly there's enough material for me to make a whole video focusing on Geese at some point, but rest assured he's got a lot of hidden depth to him, just like with a lot of these other SNK characters. And speaking of characters with hidden depth, number 2, Andy Bogard. What do I even say about Andy at this point? He's viciously underrated, always ignored and overshadowed by his older brother. And despite this, he has tons more potential for character development than Terry. He's the butt of every KOF joke, the one character nobody uses, the boring Bogard. His entire worth chalked up to being Mai's love interest. But if you just look a little closer, Andy is so much more than this. And it will forever frustrate me that all this satisfying build-up to Andy's story was pretty much dropped by SNK, and all his interesting lore was aped by Rock Howard. If you want to know exactly why Andy could be the greatest character in the whole franchise, just go watch this video if you haven't seen it yet. There's no point me going over all of it once again here. Number 1. Terry Bogard. Terry Bogard.
Are you okay? 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 Are you okay?
You wanna know why Terry Bogard is the best fighting game character ever conceived? Well, too bad. You guys gotta get me up to 500 subscribers first. What? I'm already at 500? God damn, you guys are fast. But in all seriousness, in honor of 500 subscribers, my next video is going to be all about Terry Bogard. We've looked at Andy, we've looked at a little bit of Geese, a little bit of Rio, we've looked at Robert. It's time to finally give Terry the deep dive treatment. And with that, my list is complete. Did you disagree? Of course you did. It's a completely fucking subjective topic. But either way, let me know what you thought in the comments below. Rick Stroud too high? Hotaru too low? I do read every comment, even the ones that call me a gay cunt, so let's have a little discussion about Fatal Fury. It'll be interesting to see what kind of anecdotes or thoughts on characters you might have that I might have looked over. You know, it's funny, when I first wrote that 500 subs joke into the script, I wasn't actually at 500 subs yet, and at the time of me recording this now, I'm almost at 600. Maybe by the time the video drops I'll be at 600, we'll see. But it's been really cool to see the growth of the channel recently. You know, I'm aware it's like nothing super huge, but it's enough for me to stay motivated and to want to keep making videos. I really appreciate all the support, all the comments, all the likes, whatever the fuck, all the cross posts to Reddit. So that'll be the end of it. I hope you guys look forward to the Terry video. I've obviously, you know, got a lot to say about him. I don't know when it'll be out, it might take a little while. Hopefully it doesn't take as long as this video did. I'll try and, you know, sprinkle out some smaller content just to keep the channel alive, and I also kind of want to open up a second shitpost channel. I don't know what to call it. I'm on the spot here. John Sex's Barbecue Fuckfest. That'll be the new shitpost channel. That's where I'm gonna post whatever slinks out of my rear end from Vegas. So check that out if you want some very like shitty content, I guess. But apart from all that, thanks for watching. I never usually do spoken outros like this. The video is over now. Like I've demonstrated hundreds of times, yeah, I've done hundreds of videos.